Hey friends and family of Real Connections Counseling, welcome to 5 Minutes with the Relationship Hat Man at Real Connections Counseling. I am Rick Elgersma, the Hat Guy or Hat Man. I am wearing my special hat from Italy from last year. It's one of my favorite hats. So there you know, every once in a while you're going to get a small story about one of my hats. Anyway, we are not at Real Connections Counseling, and there's a really important really important reason for that. You know, as you can kind of see, we're in kind of an entertainment area, and yes, we are. We're in an entertainment area in California, a place called Knott's Berry Farm. You can hear the screams in the background. No, they are not falling off of the roller coaster. They're well secured inside the roller coaster, one that I was in just yesterday. We're here having a great time together. But why are we here over Christmas when maybe we all the songs say we should be with family. We should be hanging out by the fire and hear the crackling thing and sing songs and stuff like that. Well, in the end, we're used to that. In the end, that's part of our normal, and that's part of our average, everyday Christmas idea. And it was time to do something different. What I really wanted to talk about today was grief. We have, in the last couple of years, lost about 10 people. About 10, 11 people that were, many of whom were close to us, to death. And that experience has led to a grief experience for the three of us that we struggled to figure out how to heal at home. And I know many of you can relate. In these 3 years, some of who are now gone are three of our parents. My mom and dad and Monique's dad, my wife's dad. And it was simply this year we came to the realization that it was going to be too hard for us to just be at home. Be at home where all the echoes are. Be at home where all the traditions were and all the ways of being were, and those kinds of things just couldn't be satisfied this year. Maybe not ever in the same way. Eventually, we're going to have to begin to do new things and have to begin to settle into a new way. Even if it's similar to the old ways, it's brand new because there are different people there. There are different ways of connecting that I didn't have to connect before. You know, when you're part of your family at Christmas, you sort of fit into a type of role. Maybe some of those types of roles were things you've settled into when you were a kid. Now, I don't know. I don't have that role anymore. I don't have that leaning post to settle into. Grief can be unreasonable, but grief doesn't only need one way for you to deal with grief. Your typical path is somebody dies and you get ready for the funeral and you do the funeral and then you go home and you eat a bunch of casseroles for several weeks and you deal with grief and you go to work, and it's kind of on a straight line. But my family couldn't go on a straight line this year. This year, my family had to go on a very crooked line that took us to California. And this is a very important part of healing. Sometimes you have to create some distance in order to let your souls heal. The three of us are tired, we're weary, we're hurting, but we're having a great time and having a lot of fun as well. And so that's an important part of knowing that others doing something different with our lives and doing something different with grief even is possible. And learning that we can get out and smile a little bit, even though we're hurting, isn't bad for grief. And sometimes you have to go get that. We couldn't do that at home. We couldn't do that in the simple traditions. We have to figure out how to do something different. And I want you to know how important that is to grief sometimes. Don't feel like you have to grieve in any one particular way. You do what you have to. If you want some help, give us a call at Real Connections Counseling. You can always write us at info@realconnectionscounseling.com and ask us questions if you like. Call 515-635-1805. One of us can have a chat with you. You can come in for counseling. But in the end, I am Rick the Hat Guy. Thanks for hanging with me for this 5 minutes of relationship time with the Hat Guy. I wish you all well and a very